Welcome to our deep dive. We're going to be exploring some really interesting ideas from the book, The Dan Sullivan Question. Just asking will change your life.
It's a fascinating book, really.
It is.
It's all about finding clarity and unlocking potential, both personally and professionally, and it all comes down to asking the right questions, instead of just trying to find the right answers.
Yeah, I love that approach. It's so much more empowering, It puts you in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. And Sullivan, who's this renowned business coach, by the way, he uses this really compelling story to illustrate this point right at the beginning of the book.
Yeah, the 23-minute phone call story. That one totally hooked me.
Right. It's amazing. So he's got this potential client on the phone who's like 90% sold on his program.
Yeah.
Just needs a little more info.
And you'd think, okay, time for the big sales pitch, right?
Right.
Lay it all out, all the benefits and features.
Exactly. But Sullivan does something completely different. He just asks this one simple question.
And the prospect talks for 23 minutes straight.
23 minutes. Just pouring his heart out, revealing his deepest desires and goals. And then without even hearing about the program details, he signs up.
It's incredible. It really shows you the power of asking the right questions,
It's about getting to the core of what truly matters, what drives people, what they really want to achieve.
Okay, so drum roll, please. What is this magical question?
All right, are you ready? It is. If we were having this discussion 3 years from today, and you were looking back over those 3 years, what has to have happened in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with your progress?
Whoa, that is powerful. It's like it forces you to really visualize your ideal future, right? Like 3 years down the line.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about vague wishes or what society tells you to want. It's about defining success and happiness on your own terms.
It's like you're creating a roadmap for your own journey, a roadmap for like success and happiness.
Precisely. And then to add even more depth to this, Sullivan introduces what he calls the D.O.S. framework.
Okay, the D.O.S. framework, what's that all about?
D.O.S. stands for dangers, opportunities, and strengths. And the full question he poses is, specifically, what dangers do you have now that need to be eliminated, what opportunities need to be captured, and what strengths need to be maximized?
Interesting. So it's like you're identifying those roadblocks, the dangers, and then you're looking at the exciting possibilities, the opportunities, and then also recognizing the tools you already have, your strengths.
You got it. And the brilliant thing is how Sullivan connects each element to powerful emotions. So dangers are linked to fear, the fear of losing something important. Opportunities are all about excitement, that thrill of gaining something new and valuable. And strengths tap into confidence.
So it's like taking these raw emotions, fear, excitement, and confidence, and channeling them into something productive, a clear plan of action.
Yeah, you're moving from a reactive state to a proactive one. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything that's happening around you, you're taking control. You're identifying potential threats, you're recognizing possibilities, and you're leveraging your strengths to create your own path forward.
I can see how this could be so empowering. You're not just dreaming about the future, you're actively shaping it. It's like you're taking the steering wheel.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
And what really brings this D.O.S. framework to life are the stories Sullivan shares about entrepreneurs who've used it to achieve, remarkable results.
Oh, yeah, I love a good success story. Tell me about some of these D.O.S. superstars.
Well, one that really stood out for me was this guy, David Engel, a printer from Toronto. He was competing in a pretty traditional market, but then he started applying D.O.S. not just to his own business, but to his understanding of his customers.
So, instead of just trying to sell printing services, he was trying to really get inside his customers' heads.
Yeah, exactly. He was asking himself, what are my customers' biggest dangers, their most exciting opportunities? What are their unique strengths?
So he shifted his focus from just selling a product to really understanding his customers' needs and, aspirations.
Exactly. And that's how he became this master of direct response marketing. He started creating these really unique strategies and products that he ended up licensing to, like huge ad agencies and corporations.
Wow, so he took this traditional printing business and turned it into something cutting edge, all thanks to D.O.S.
Pretty incredible, right?
Yeah.
And it shows that D.O.S. isn't just about analyzing your own business. It's about understanding how your customers' D.O.S. issues can shape your whole approach to the market.
Right. Makes sense.
And another great example is this mortgage broker from L.A., Philip Tyrone. He was making good money, but was working crazy hours, 80-hour weeks, No days off.
Oh man, I know that feeling of being stuck on that hamster wheel. So how did DOS help him?
Well, he realized his real strength was in really understanding the mortgage industry, all the complexities.
Yeah.
So he shifted his focus away from just like brokering mortgages, and he started developing and marketing strategies for lifetime creditworthiness. And he targeted both consumers and other mortgage professionals.
So he kind of created this unique value proposition, something that set him apart from all the other mortgage brokers out there.
Exactly. And as a result, his business grew, he started working less, and he finally had a life outside of work. That work-life balance that so many entrepreneurs struggle with.
It's great when it all comes together like that. Shows that success isn't just about the bottom line. It's about creating a life that's both fulfilling and, like, sustainable.
Totally agree. And then there's this guy, Joe Polish, who started out as a, get this, carpet cleaner in Arizona, working long hours, barely making ends meet.
Oh, wow. Carpet cleaning. Okay, so how did he turn that around?
He used D.O.S. to figure out that his real strength was actually marketing.
Interesting. So not the actual carpet cleaning itself.
Right. And he realized he could apply this strength not just to his own business, but to help other carpet cleaners, all across the country.
So instead of just cleaning carpets, he realized he could solve a real problem for other people in his industry.
Exactly. His marketing strategies ended up becoming so successful that even the biggest, most established carpet cleaning companies wanted to learn from him.
That's so cool. He turned this, like, pretty mundane business into a huge success by identifying a need and filling it with his own unique strengths.
And that's a key point about D.O.S. It's not just about finding success. It's about becoming what Sullivan calls a D.O.S. entrepreneur, someone who stands out by offering unique value, and solutions based on a deep understanding of their target audience's D.O.S. issues.
So these DOS entrepreneurs, they're not just selling products or services, they're selling, like, brain power. They're selling expertise, insights, their ability to see the bigger picture and, like, come up with creative solutions.
They're like those strategic advisors you see in movies, the ones who whisper those brilliant insights in their clients' ears.
That's such a good analogy. And Sullivan has this great line in the book where he compares DOS to a doctor who's using, like, MRIs and CT scans while their competitors are still stuck with just, checking the patient's pulse.
Yeah. It really emphasizes the depth of insight that DOS provides.
It's like having X-ray vision. You can see right through to the heart of what your customers really need and want.
And that allows you to create solutions that are truly transformative.
Okay, so this has all been super fascinating, but I'm curious, how can someone who's, like, not an entrepreneur apply these principles? Can the average person benefit from the DOS framework?
Oh, absolutely. The beauty of DOS is that it's applicable to any area of life, not just business. So whether you're looking to improve your relationships, your health, your finances, anything really, DOS can provide, like, valuable guidance.
So it's like having a roadmap for personal growth and development, regardless of what your specific goals are.
Exactly. It's a tool for self-discovery and empowerment, a way to take control of your future.
I love that. And you know what's really interesting? Sullivan even suggests using DOS in personal relationships. Like, imagine having a DOS conversation with your partner or a close friend.
That could be incredibly powerful.
Yeah, instead of just talking about, like, the day-to-day stuff, you're really digging deep, exploring each other's fears, dreams, aspirations.
Moving beyond those surface-level conversations.
Yeah, and creating, like, a shared vision for the future.
A roadmap for growth and connection.
It's like taking a relationship to a whole new level. As we're talking about all this future stuff, future visioning, it makes me think about the past. Like, how do we acknowledge those past experiences, maybe failures or setbacks, without letting them, like, define us moving forward?
Yeah, that's a really important point, and Sullivan actually addresses that directly in the book. He says that while, yeah, of course, the past shapes us, dwelling on it too much can create this feeling of limitation.
Like we're carrying around all this extra baggage.
Exactly. It weighs us down, keeps us from moving forward freely.
So it's not about ignoring the past, but maybe, like, reframing it, right?
Exactly. Recognizing that it doesn't have to dictate the future. We have the power to choose how we interpret those past experiences and how we let them influence us now.
That's powerful stuff. So instead of being held back by past mistakes, we can use them as learning opportunities.
Stepping stones.
Yeah, stepping stones on the path to growth.
And the D.O.S. framework really encourages that. By focusing on your dangers, opportunities, and strengths, you're basically creating this new narrative, a future that's driven by what you want now, not what happened before.
And I think that's so important, especially these days, right? With everything changing so fast, all the information overload, it's easy to feel kind of lost, overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's like we're caught in this whirlwind of uncertainty and we don't know which way to turn.
Exactly.
Sullivan talks about how so many people feel this sense of confusion and isolation, like they're powerless in the face of all this change.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
But the D.O.S. framework, it gives you a way to find clarity amidst all that chaos.
Okay, so how does it do that?
By focusing on your specific D.O.S. issues, you're taking control, right? You're not just reacting to everything that's happening around you. You're actively shaping your future based on what truly matters to you.
It's like an anchor in a storm.
It gives you something to hold on to, a framework for making sense of the world and your place in it.
I love that. And it's not just about like achieving external success. It's about finding meaning and purpose in a world that can often feel, I don't know, meaningless and chaotic.
Exactly. It's about creating a life that feels truly fulfilling.
Okay, so we've talked about how DOS can be a powerful tool for entrepreneurs, but even if you're not running a business, it sounds like it can still be incredibly valuable for creating a more meaningful life.
Absolutely. And one thing to keep in mind is that not everyone will embrace this approach. Sullivan talks about 3 types of people: users, confusers, and refusers.
Okay, tell me more about that. What are the differences between those groups?
Well, users, they're the ones who just get it, They see the value in DOS right away. They're excited to use it as a tool for growth and change.
They dive right in.
Exactly. They're ready to do the work. And then there are the confusers. They might struggle a bit at first, Maybe they hesitate to confront their DOS issues.
So it's not that they're rejecting the ideas, they just need a little more time to process everything.
Right. They need a little more guidance, maybe. And they've got the refusers. They're the ones who just flat out reject the whole framework. Maybe they're skeptical, afraid of change, or their beliefs just clash with the whole DOS approach.
And I think even for the refusers, just being exposed to these concepts can be valuable. It might spark something in them down the line.
It's like planting a seed. You never know when it might sprout.
Exactly. And even if someone never fully embraces the DOS framework, it can still be a learning experience to try to understand why they resist it.
What are their fears? What beliefs are shaping their perspective?
Yeah, it's an opportunity for growth and understanding. Now, I have a question. Why 3 years? What's so special about that time frame?
Sullivan says that 3 years is kind of like a sweet spot. It's far enough out to envision some real progress, but it's not so far that it feels overwhelming or unrealistic.
It's like Goldilocks, right? Not too short, not too long, just right.
Exactly. And of course, you can adjust it to fit your own goals and circumstances. But 3 years is a good starting point for most people.
Now, Sullivan makes this pretty bold claim in the book. He says that if you consistently use DOS for 20 years, you can increase your income 40 times over. And not just that, he says it can completely transform your life. Do you think that's realistic?
Well, I think it's important to remember that everyone's results will be different. But I think Sullivan's point is that consistent application of these principles can create this compounding effect. Leads to exponential growth and change over time.
And it's not just about, like, money, right? It's about creating a life that has purpose, fulfillment, impact.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that success is a journey, not a destination. And the D.O.S. framework can be a powerful roadmap for navigating that journey in a way that's both meaningful and sustainable.
So if you're looking for a way to unlock your potential, create a more fulfilling future, I definitely recommend checking out the Dan Sullivan Question. Start by asking yourself that powerful question. If we were having this discussion 3 years from today, and you were looking back over those 3 years, what has to have happened in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with your progress?
And then dive into your own DOS issues. What dangers do you need to eliminate? What opportunities are out there waiting for you? What strengths can you leverage to reach your full potential?
By engaging in this process of self-discovery and planning, you're taking a proactive step towards creating a future that's aligned with your values and aspirations.
And here's a little challenge for you. Try having a DOS conversation with someone you trust, a friend, a colleague, a family member. You might be surprised by what comes up.
Remember, this is a tool you can use for life. The more you use it, the more powerful it becomes.
So as we wrap up, I want you to think about what your ideal future looks like 3 years from now. What can you do today to start making that vision a reality? The D.O.S. framework can help you unlock those answers.
It can empower you to create a future that's both fulfilling and impactful. Thanks for joining us for this Nook Dive. We'll see you next time.